YouTube. Quinn Wade coming to you with that instant basketball analysis playoff edition on Analysis Playground on YouTube, exclusively on there forever. Of course, we're going to talk about them Pistons losing in overtime after they had a good lead in that fourth quarter, especially at the end of the fourth quarter. But they lose in overtime 117 to 113 at home. And now the series is 3-2 going back to Cleveland, with the Cavaliers having a chance to eliminate the number one overall seed in the East in the second round. And on top of that, they can do it at home. Detroit won that first quarter 29-27. They won the second quarter 31-25, and it was looking like they was going in the right direction. They was defending at a high level. And then Cleveland 32-20 in the third. And then in the fourth, Detroit did come back and win that one 23-19. But they ended up missing some crucial shots and made some plays that was good, but wasn't called as fouls. And then they lost overtime 14-10 because James Harden got a rebound. They was able to score. They was able to stay with it. And some calls that wasn't made and some shots that wasn't made from the Pistons have them going to Cleveland with a chance to get eliminated, unfortunately for them. But Cleveland, Dean Wade got the start. He played 23 minutes. He went scoreless because he didn't take any shots, even from the free throw line. But he did grab 6 rebounds. He had no turnovers. He had a steal. He was trying to defend at a high level. He was trying to help his teammates out, even with spacing. Other than that, he had 1 offensive board, 1 personal foul, and was a +2 and +. Jared Allen played 36 minutes. He had 16 points. He went 6 of 10 from the field and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Really, really good finishing from him. He was always in the right spots in the right areas, even when it came to getting 6 offensive rebounds out of the 10. But you always want to see Jared Allen getting a double-double. If he's getting a double-double, that's a good chance for them to win. He should be getting that every single game, in my personal opinion. And it was good to see him do that in this one. He also had 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. You're long, you're fast, you're quick, and you got good balance. So use that as much as you can, and he did it on both ends tonight. He had 1 personal foul and was a +14 and +. Evan Mobley played 43 minutes. He was huge in that fourth quarter, making some threes and finding his teammates, setting screens so they can get better opportunities that they feel comfortable with. But he went 6 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, hit some big ones from 3. He went 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He had 8 rebounds. He had 8 assists. He had 4 turnovers and a steal. And then he got 3 blocks. We know he has the two-way ability. We know he can catch you if you come at him or you try to find a way to sneak past him. He got good reach, got good timing a lot of the time. He had 1 offensive rebound, 2 personal fouls, and he had 2 personal fouls and did all them things defensively in 43 minutes. That's low. He was a -7 and +. James Harden, 43 minutes. He had 30 points. That was game high for the Cavaliers. And he kept getting fouled and all that. But he only shot 3 of 10 from 3 and 8 of 21 from the field. So he was taking some pressure off Donovan Mitchell, who didn't have the greatest shoot night either. But, you know, they ended up doing just enough to carry the offense to be able to win this game. But he had 8 rebounds and 6 assists. He also had 6 turnovers. Harden has been terrible with the turnovers in his playoffs. And his shooting has been off. But like I said, the Pistons isn't the greatest offensive team either. So I guess you can manipulate the defense better with these two than what the Pistons can do against them. But he had 1 steal and 3 blocks. He had 3 offensive rebounds. He had 5 personal fouls and was a +11 and +. Donovan Mitchell, 42 minutes. He had 21 points. He had shot 7 of 18 from the field. He went 1 of 8 from 3. Missing those 7 3-pointers was a big reason why they found themselves in overtime, because a lot of them was good looks. And he just wasn't knocking down really much when it came to the shooting part of the game. But he still did go 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers. He had 2 personal fouls and was a -4 and +. Dennis Schroeder, 17 minutes. He had 5 points. He went 1 of 4 from the field. He missed his only 3. He went 3 of 5 from the free throw line. You know, he didn't shoot the ball the greatest, but he didn't also take a lot of shots. And he did make some good plays with the 5 assists that led directly to baskets. He was just trying to read the defense and try to make the best play that he could, and that's all you can do when you're out there, especially when you one of the smallest players out there. He had 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul, and was a +9 in plus minus. Max Strus, 36 minutes. He had 20 points. He went 6 of 8 from 3, and that's what he's out there to do. And he did a good job of stripping Cade and making it tough on him when he could. And that's what he has to do also. But he also went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Provided good spacing, moved without the basketball, and just was able to knock down shots throughout the entire game. And on top of that, he had 8 rebounds with 2 of them being offensive. He had 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 personal fouls, and was a +9 in plus minus. Sam Merrill, 21 minutes. He had 6 points. He ended up going 2 of 5 from 3. He had 1 assist, no turnover, and a steal. 1 personal foul, and was a -7 in plus minus. And then Jalen Tyson had some confrontations in this one, but he only played 3 minutes. He missed his only shot. And then he had 1 turnover, had no personal fouls, and was a -7 in plus minus. And then you look at the Detroit Pistons. Tobias Harris played 40 minutes. He ended up getting 13 points, though, but he missed a lot of shots. If you watched the game, you probably didn't think he missed as much as he did. But he went 6 of 19 from the field and 1 of 7 from 3. He had some good looks that was really, really where you thought that he would be able to make them at, especially because they was able to find him open. He just couldn't get it done, especially as the game kept getting closer to being over. He had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnover, 1 steal, 1 block. But Tobias also started the game 0 of 5, I believe. So that didn't help his field goal percentage either. And then he had 2 offensive rebounds, 5 personal fouls, and was a -2 in plus minus. Jalen Duren tried to do some things, but he didn't still have a great game, even on the boards. He played only 25 minutes. He had 9 points. He went 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from the field. He had 5 boards, 4 assists, no turnovers, 1 steal, 1 offensive rebound, 2 personal fouls, and was a -16 in plus minus. You just look at this one and say, what can they do? I mean, should they just give up on Jalen Duren? You don't want to do that because he's an all-star and you feel like he's a good fit and a good piece for this team. But if he can't even get you 11 or 10 points or even a double-double, I don't really know what you can do with him. But he still played hard and played defense. Cade Cunningham played 48 minutes. No surprise there. And he also played the most on the team. No surprise with that. He had 39. I mean, he gave all he can give. So I'm not going to even go hard on him. He did make some bad turnovers. He did make some bad decisions passing the ball again. But when you go 13 to 27 from the field, play 48 minutes, you go 6 to 10 from 3. You made a clutch 2 to keep the chances of you winning the game there. And then you also go 7 of 8 from the free throw line. I just don't know what they want the guy to do. And then he did put them in a situation where they could have won the game. And his teammates just couldn't make the last couple of shots to make sure they can walk home with the victory. Other than that, he did have 7 rebounds and 9 assists. He also had 6 turnovers, which was the most on the team, but he does have the ball in his hands the most. He also had 2 steals. Like I said, I don't really have a problem with Cade defensively, especially this season and this postseason. So I'm not even going to call him out there. And then the Pistons are a little bit more touchy-feely. So I can see why he got 4 personal fouls, but he wasn't the only person that got it. And then he had 1 offensive rebound, was a -4 in plus minus. Asor Thompson, 41 minutes. He had 6 points. He went 2 of 6 from the field. He missed his only shot from 3. He went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 7 rebounds. He had 5 assists. He had 2 turnovers and 4 steals. So he was really, really good defensively. I think none of us had a problem with that. But the block that he had on Jared Allen, I believe, was just crazy. And then the steals that he was getting, he was just picking the pocket so fast and so quick. And he was even making some of these guys not even want to continue to dribble anymore. And he was just hard to even get in front of and blow past. Other than that, he had 3 offensive rebounds, 2 personal fouls, and was a +1 and plus minus. And then Jenkins played 41 minutes and got the start. He had 19 points and he went 8 of 17 from the field. But he had some wide open threes that he just couldn't splash that they needed. If he makes two of those, even in the later stages of the game, this is a different outcome. But he couldn't. He did make his only free throw, though. He had 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He was mostly playing on and off the ball. And they needed somebody to do that. And he stepped up. It just, they needed a little bit more to beat the Cavaliers. And he had 1 steal and 2 blocks. He had 1 offensive rebound. He had 3 personal fouls. He was a -9 in plus minus. Paul Reed, 17 minutes. He had 10 points. He went 4 of 7 from the field. Just good finishing around the basket. And the game was already basically over. He said, let me just go ahead and take a dunk. And they allowed him to do it. The late to make the lead look a little bit less. And he was still showing I'm going to play until the buzzer goes off, which is fine. He went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 8 rebounds. He had 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 2 blocks, which was the most off the bench. He's always bringing hustle and muscle. He had 4 offensive boards, 3 personal fouls, and was a 0 in plus minus. Isaiah Stewart, 11 minutes. He had 8 points. He went 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. And if he's giving you that, you're happy with it, especially because he also had a block, 2 boards, and an assist. That's a very productive night from him in 11 minutes. He also had no turnovers, 2 offensive boards, which was all his rebounds, 2 personal fouls, and was a plus 12 and plus minus. Caris LeVert, you just wanted him to make his threes, man. They was open. He went 0 of 3 from the 3-point line and finished 2 of 7 from the field. At least he scored. And he went also 3 of 3 from the free throw line and gave you 7 points. He also had no turnovers, but he had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, and had 4 personal fouls. I think that was something that Tobias had problems with, was trying to defend the perimeter players from the Cavaliers from getting to the free throw line or getting past them or even just taking tough shots. But, they're shot creators. That's how it's going to be. They're going to find a way to get you if they can. He was a -7 in plus minus, Caris LeVert was. And Kevin Huerter came out, but he only played 3 minutes, so he went back out. He went scoreless. He did have an assist, though. No turnovers, no personal foul, was a -4 in plus minus. They didn't really use or need him that much in this one. And Marcus Sasser played 16 minutes. He had 2 points. He missed his only 3. He went 1 of 2 from the field. He had 2 rebounds. He had 1 turnover. He had 1 offensive board out of the 2. Then he had a personal foul and was a +9 in plus minus. Detroit, 95 field goals for the Pistons. They shot 44% from the field, and you would think them taking 15 more shots will lead to a victory, and it just didn't happen in this one. But the Cavaliers shot 80 field goals. They made 45% of them, just 1% better than the Pistons. But 35 threes taken by the Cavaliers. They made 40% of them, while the Detroit Pistons shot 33, and they made 33% of their threes, and they needed a couple of those to go in because the Cavaliers said, we got to take away that paint and force y'all to make threes. And it hurted them in the second half, in my personal opinion, watching the game, because the Pistons just couldn't make them even in the fourth quarter, even in down the stretch. So it was a good idea for the Cavaliers to do it. 20 free throws from the Pistons. They shot 90%. The biggest problem with that was the Cavaliers shot 38 free throws. 18 more free throws than the Pistons. And they made 82% of them. I mean, that's a good way to lose a game. You giving up the threes and they making them, especially later in the game. And then you shoot about the same percentage from the field, but you give up 18 more free throws. 40 rebounds for the Pistons, 44 for the Cavaliers. 28 assists for the Pistons, 25 for the Cavaliers. 10 turnovers with the Pistons, 16 with the Cavaliers. 10 steals for the Pistons, 6 for the Cavaliers. 10 blocks for the Pistons, 9 for the Cavaliers. 15 offensive rebounds for the Pistons, 13 for the Cavaliers. And then 25 defensive rebounds for the Pistons, 31 for the Cavaliers. And then 26 personal fouls for the Pistons, 16 for the Cavaliers. And that was the game right there. Just the shot making, the free throw drawing, and just the Pistons not being able to come through for themselves. Although they was able to create separation, although they was able to find an open man, not being able to drop in those shots and some costly turnovers here and there was the backbone that broke for them and collapsed and gave the Cleveland another chance and another opportunity to win this game, and they ended up getting it done in OT. And it sucks if you're a Pistons fan because you probably felt that you did enough to win it. But you still got to keep playing. You still got to keep executing. You still got to keep pushing yourself to not settle. And since it ended up being that way, the Cavaliers snuck right in and just took all their gold and went about their day. And the Pistons never knew because they were sleeping. They ain't light sleepers, I guess. But other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share. Hit that notification bell to get that analysis when it first comes out. Thank y'all for watching. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Thank y'all for the loyalty. And thank y'all for the consistency as fans and as subscribers of me in Analysis Playground and my basketball analysis podcast. Other than that, y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Hopefully tomorrow if it's meant to be.